Hello, welcome to today's virtual class. And today's topic is keeping your creative inspiration alive as a singer or a musician. For context, this is the class overview for this particular topic. We'll talk about understanding creative inspiration, we'll talk about sources of inspiration, we'll talk about habits that sustains creativity. We'll talk about overcoming creative blocks. We also talk about reinvention and artistic growth. And then lastly, we'll talk about practical exercises and the conclusion. If you are just joining us, I'd like you to subscribe, like, and share this episode. And my name remains Shile Okeshino, your music coach. As a music coach, here is my view concerning keeping your creative inspiration alive as a singer and as a musician, whichever one applies to you. The first thing to talk about today is what is creative inspiration? Creative inspiration is the inner drive and the ideas that helps musicians create songs, sounds, lyrics, and performances. It comes from several things, and the number one is it comes from emotions, it comes from experiences, it comes from environment, it comes from culture, and it also comes from other artists. Inspiration is not constant. Great artists learn how to renew it from time to time. Inspiration is not something that stays with you always. It's not something that you get randomly. It is something that you have to be deliberate to renewing it from time to time. What has inspired you in the past years might not be what is currently inspiring you or what will inspire you for your next level. And there are certain examples I would like to share with us on this episode. And the number one example I'm going to be sharing is there are lots of global artists that draws inspiration from several other artists. Some are known and some are unknown. For example, the Nigerian artist Burna Boy draws inspiration from Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti, who currently just won a Lifetime Award on the Grammys. He draws inspiration from Fela Anikulapo Kuti, from African history and some personal experiences which he has had over time or is currently having. Global artists like Taylor Swift gets his inspiration from personal relationships and life experiences. Now let's talk about sources of inspiration. The first thing to look at when we talk about sources of inspiration will be personal life experiences. Your story is your greatest asset. What you have gone through, what you have been through, the journey of your music creation, the journey of finding yourself, the journey of understanding what life is from your own perspective is one very great asset that you can look at to build your inspiration and write a story around it. For example, Asha, the Nigerian singer, her song Jila reflects social and political realities. Another example you can look at is Adele. Adele, her album 21 was inspired by heartbreak. I feel sad for her that she went through the heartbreak, but you can tell the quality of music that that particular experience was able to help her produce such beautiful music. Should we say artists should go through heartbreaks? I don't know. But if you have seen over time, Artists lean into their personal experiences to write wonderful pieces of music, and it has been like that over the years, across generation and across border. So, what lesson are we taking away from this? Is that pain, joy, love, and struggle can all inspire songs. Number two, culture and environment. Your environment shapes your sound. No matter how you see it, no matter how well you want to talk about it or talk less about it, your environment and your culture has a way of shaping your sound. Let's look at these examples. For instance, we'll look at Wizkid. He blends Afrobeat with global pop, infusing some type of styles of singing or some style of approach to music into his own music. And then that inspires how he produces his own songs, the type of choice of beats that he chooses to even sing on. If you also check Rosalia, she mixes flamingo with modern pop. Beautiful experience, if you ask me. Beautiful experience, and it has made the artist to produce such a very refined style of music that shows that they are being inspired not just from their own personal experiences, but from their environment and their culture. What's your takeaway from this? Your takeaway from this should be that your roots make your sound unique. Your roots will always or can make your sound unique. Number three, listening to other music is another way to consistently draw inspiration. Why and how does listening to other music have an impact in how you consistently draw inspiration? It is very simple. Listening has a way of expanding your creativity. It has a way of allowing you see the approach that several other people use in creating music. And if you are careful enough or smart enough, you can take a thing or two from different style of music that you listen to. Examples that I'm going to share are as follows. Thames. Thames is clearly inspired by soul, R&B, and alternative music. Also, Ed Sheeran. What is Ed Sheeran inspired by? Ed Sheeran is inspired by hip hop and folk. Ed Sheeran has a way of infusing elements from hip hop into his style and folk music. He has a way of ensuring that these two type of music come into play, and he infuses it to produce or have his own type of sound. What is your takeaway from this? Your takeaway from this should be learn from others, but don't copy. Create in your own identity. So even if Ed Sheeran copies from hip hop and folk music, what it does is that it ends up infusing his own style of music, the way he sings, into using those elements and mixing it up to produce something that is unique to him and his music. That's why that line says, learn to copy, learn to learn from others, but do not copy. Create in your own identity. Number four, everyday life. Everyone has a way that they see through life. Everyone has a way that life happens to them differently by the reason of where they are currently, by the reason of what class in the economy they are in, by the type of the economic system that is being used in the system where they in the region where they are also in. In the capitalist environment or an industrialist environment, there are certain things that are the common people's reality day in, day out. This has a way of also shaping how people live and how people go through life daily. This is to explain that inspiration can come from anywhere. For instance, inspiration can come from conversations. Inspiration can come from the news. Inspiration can come from nature. Inspiration can also come from love. Inspiration can come from social issues. There was a song that Kobams Asuko did some times ago, and the lyrics were clearly from the happenings in the society as at that time. Part of the lyrics explained, and he said, have you read the papers? Do you hear what they say? The next line says, rising unemployment, cost of living every day is getting high. The next line now says, another suicide bomber in a bus with 13